I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people that struggle. Salute, salute, salute. Peace and power. What's good, what's good, what's good? Salute to you all. Stony, what's good? I see you. Mississippi, be safe out there. Be safe out there. Kelton, what up? Hello, Bob. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, Queen. Ramadan Karim. What's good? As you come on in, please know that you are in a safe space. You are in a safe space. You are in a space where you are encouraged. Encouraged, okay? To be intelligent, to speak, to question, to answer, to seek solution. You are encouraged to grow the tribe. So share, 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 share. While y'all here, share. Let the tribe know we in the spot. It's Friday night. Therefore, we might be kind of light. Yeah. You know how our people do. Friday night. Getting a drink on. You know, doing a whole lot of other things that they shouldn't be doing, but they do anyway. It's okay. As the moderators come in, please, all green screen info. All other service info. All right? Please make sure that it is there available in the chat during the course of this build and every build. And also be very welcoming, be very kind and respectful to each other while we are in this spot, because this is a spot for learning, educating, and being educated. All right? Tonight. Oh, yeah, tonight. As we do any other night, we speak on things that we happen to be, or that happen to grab our attention, right? That we seem to place in a high order of importance. You know what I'm saying? A high order of importance. And one of those things is reparations. Reparations is something that we speak on quite often. Quite often. But in that speech of reparations, we rarely ever speak of immigration, right, as a pseudo barrier to receiving those reparations. We think of many other reasons, and these reasons always have to deal with the denial by the establishment for basically the excuse that they just won't do it because of who we are and the lack of acknowledgement that it is deserved by, deserved to us by them, right? The truth of the matter is there's not enough resources for them to adequately, and I mean adequately, repair through financial means everything that we have lost and everything that we have contributed to the establishment of this country and the upkeep of it. Yes, Marcus, because they need a permanent underclass, which that's just what capitalism is about. So even if we take the racial implication out of it, still capitalism needs a lower class. It needs a labor class in order to survive, in order to, sustain. But as I did my live today on Instagram and gave a little peek into how corporations and institutions suck the resource out of communities, especially our communities who are the labor force, people still miss exactly what I was showing, and people still miss the fact that we cannot separate ourselves as a people, right? Which is being encouraged because of the talk of reparations. You understand? Before that speech was highlighted, before it became an issue that sort of rolled off of everyone's tongue as if they were intelligent enough to or researched enough to have this conversation, you rarely heard a peep. You rarely heard a peep about it. But again, because of the technology that we're using now and the fact that information is at everyone's fingertips within seconds, we find ourselves, sort of quarterbacking from the couch, right? And you know how I feel about it. There's only one way I would like to be repaired. If you could repair me, my thing is an eye for an eye. Allow me to do unto you what has been done unto us. It's only equitable and fair. Simple as that. Can't pay me a dollar amount, especially when the dollar in value decreases second by second. Shit. The average dollar right now is really worth about 43 cents in all reality. So I know for a fact that you will not be able to compensate me for what me and mine have lost, for what me and mine have gone through, for what me and mine have contributed to. But we need to keep our eye out in all of our communities, right? For very simple noticings, right? That will have you sharp as a pin's needle, right? When it comes to this discussion, because there are very key things that you can pick up on your own just by opening your eyes and forget about being active and involved in specific political conversations, specific political meetings, specific political engagements. If you just take a little bit of time to go through or to listen or to receive information from, you will notice that nobody is going to give your black ass a penny for what was done in the past and what has continued to be done in the present and in the coming future. Now, in the thumbnail, I want you to notice that everybody, well, every picture in it is of a Latina. And I've done that specifically because when you speak of the immigration issue or what's going on as far as immigration is concerned in this country, right? They give you a one-sided view. And in that one-sided view, they make an attempt to cause division, right? To cause division among the impoverished and oppressed people. So we've been hearing, for the last, I could say about 10 years, hard body talk of immigration and our borders, going all the way back to the Obama administration. I kind of remember it differently because I could go all the way back to 88 when I was in the service and actually in Texas and can see people coming across the borders in El Paso. Yeah. However, those people coming up from Mexico and from various Central American and South American countries are not the only immigrants that come through the borders, all of the borders in this country. We have heavy European immigrants, heavy amounts of immigrants from Asia, heavy concentration of immigrants all over the globe, just about every country. But when it benefits the administration, they will center on a specific group to put an idea in your head that these people mean you no good, they should be feared, and in fact, they are more of an enemy to you than your own oppressor. I can remember in the 80s when the HIV/AIDS epidemic was in full swing and how they diverted the conversation from the rainbow individuals to the Haitians. Man, when I tell you the Haitians had a tough time. First of all, the entire Caribbean island had a tough time. There was no pride it was very, very, very few that spoke of the islands from which they came from because they were ostracized, they were talked badly about. It was difficulty trying to adjust. It wasn't that what it is now, where any car you look in, you could see a flag or a headrest, or everybody is proud and claiming their specific islands. Nah, nah, nah. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. In this country, since it is ran by Uncle Sam and white supremacist ideal, white men sit on the top. And therefore, if you did not measure up to their standards, well, you just wasn't about shit. So any immigrant from any other nation, excuse me, was made to feel uncomfortable. And that goes all the way back to when they did it to the Italians and the Polish and the Irish. It's just never been comfortable here. All right? However, these immigrants always entered the workforce at specific times doing specific things, and because of them being ostracized, they are forced to remain together, and as such accumulates power over the years, some quickly, some slowly, but they always seem to get on their feet because they come with a mentality that they have to work together. So in my young 54 years, I remember specific groups from all over coming through and coming into New York City. And, you know, I don't care where you were, whether they were in schools, um, whether they were in our communities or on the workforce, I always witnessed them struggling to get their footing, right? Because of many factors, the language barriers, just different ways that they socialize within their groups. Now, let's fast forward to the thumbnail. In the age of post-pandemic, right, we have seen an explosion because of 45 and others, of a whole bunch of different Latin countries. And, well, Spanish, Latin, LatinX, whatever the terminology is, we know these are Spanish speaking people, and as such, they come through, and when they come through, they stick out like sore thumbs. You can see them, right? Other groups, because of how they come in, and because they're treated differently when they come here, they're not as visible. They're just not, right? They want to make sure that you have a negative image of whatever the latest group that's bustling to get here is. So whether they be Mexican, whether they be Ecuadorian, Colombian, Cuban, right? Man, Chilean, whatever. They make it their business for you to notice them. And some you may have no choice but to notice, right? However, when they come through, there's always political language of resources, policies, and assistance. Always. And when you start hearing that, you know it has to come from somewhere. So at what point do we and us melanated people believe that we are part of that conversation when it comes to getting resources, especially if there is not a path, such as with the immigrants, right? Because there's a path for them to be part of this society, right? They work on them to get in, get adjusted, get within the system, participate in the system, and be, right? Be the best representation of that system. So as you see in the thumbnail, you see these women. Now, I don't know about other parts of the country. I don't even know about other counties, as far as the upstate counties and things of that nature, LI and all that. But I do know within the boroughs, especially in Brooklyn, specifically our impoverished community, our community of East New York, Brooklyn, where they suck out the resources at every angle. We see these women selling fruit or flowers or whatever the hell. Listen, to each his own. I don't buy fruit in the street. I just don't. I've seen people do it. I'm not doing it. Where you get that fruit from, Ma? Where you cut that fruit up? And I've seen them cut the fruit up on the street. All right, you know, they got the little bucket in the cut, set it up before they go out. Right there. I ain't eating it. Flowers, I ain't eating it. Listen, post-pandemic, I ain't rolling down the window for no damn body. I may want to, but I don't know. I don't know what's coming out of your face. Let's just be honest. I still mask up and all that. However, that's not the issue for me. The issue is that, as you can see, these women have infants tied to their back or in the front or on the side, wherever it is, but these are infants. These are babies that they have with them as they're making an attempt to sell fruit on busy streets and boulevards. Shit. Our boulevard is 8 to 10 lanes. And the cross street itself is 4 lanes. And it's a heavily used throughway for trucks. Yeah. So you have all type of smog and emissions and all this going on. And this woman or these women have babies out there. Not only the trucks with the emissions, right? But the noise level. How is this not deemed abuse? Beats me. But I know for a fact that if Shaniqua was out there selling M&Ms or Skittles with a goddamn infant on her back, ACS would be on her ass. I've seen people get ACS cases just because their kids are absent too much from school. Straight like that. Straight like that. And that is just one of the disparities on how they view our people and others who just get here. Because there's a benefit for them somewhere down the line to make sure Maria or Anna or whatever her name is can sell that fruit, right? With a baby on her back, not get hassled, approached, ticketed, nothing. Because eventually they're going to work her in. And it's not a long eventually. She will get up enough money from that fruit or them flowers to get into an OSHA class, and then you will see her join one of those others, right? In the thumbnails. Because that's what you're seeing more and more throughout Brooklyn and the rest of the city. These same women now, the major population of these construction sites, flag wavers, scaffolding, security, whatever is available to them that is not extreme manual labor, you're seeing some of these immigrant women. From highway selling flowers and fruit to flag waving and eventually to home ownership. But along the course of that, they make sure that they are conditioned to get voter registration cards, to have a voice, to become someone who they may not have been able to be in their home country. What does that have to do with reparations, you ask? Oh, because every step of the way, with all this government assistance, it has to come from somewhere. You think corporations pay for that? No. No. I've been to many an OSHA class. I've never seen a corporation sponsor a group at all to get an OSHA card, to get a scaffolding certificate, a flag waving certificate, none of that. See, no corporation sponsor anyone to get unionized when it comes to that. No. No. Most of these things come from taxpayers and big and local governments. So as you have these conscious and woke folk, social media personalities separating you because of some idea that if you can claim a certain space here, that they're going to give you a large, enormous bag of money, what it's actually doing is causing you to fall behind the rest of the real world. Because as Rosita and Maria and them is selling fruit and getting their shit together and taking these construction gigs and running into Walmart and Target and dominating those workforces, okay? Locking down whole blocks of the employment that we have left here, you sitting here thinking that the government is going to drop a bag in your lap. Don't work like that. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Because you see, as they are working these immigrants in, they're also gentrifying your communities. They pushing you out. You're not a factor anymore. They don't need your labor anymore. They used you up. They used you up post-Revolutionary War, during chattel slavery, pre-Civil War, during the Civil War, post-Civil War, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, sharecropping, and all that. Your patents, your trades, your ideas, the cotton gin, all the way to Jet Magazine and Motown. Used up. You have firmly established this country. You have built it. And without power, you've been used up. Good looking out. Peace. That's what they say to you. Good looking. We on to the next. We're on to the next. That is just what it is. Now, you people may think I'm bullshitting or may not want to accept the reality of it because there are others who are going to come, and because of how they present and because of the wordage that they use. Yeah. Shit sounds slick, but I see everything. Like, you do know, right? You do know that the next group that they have coming through, that's filtering in, are Asian men, Chinese nationals, coming through border towns, undocumented, unchecked, and coming right through to these urban centers and into the country. And you know what you haven't been seeing a lot of lately? Little white mercenaries, little white boys who have been the face, the poster child for mass shootings. When we in the thick of the summer, we're going to see how many of these Chinese nationals, these men without families who've been coming through our borders, are going to get on their bullshit as war increases, as talks of China and Russia and North Korea. Mark my words. Reparations, repairing any type of anything with melanated people ain't on the list. You ain't been hearing this shit from nobody but those who advocate for it. You ain't hear none of that shit coming out of Washington. You haven't at all. Not on nobody's agenda, on nobody's calendar, except for the same who've been advocating for nothing but a study. So while they're thinking of passing something to study the effects of what we've been through, the immigrants are coming through, and by the time the study is over, to tell us all what we all know already, that working class has just been replaced. These same people selling fruits and flowers and wallets and flags and cell phone holder trinkets are now going to be the main workforce in this country. So as niggas keep selling you pipe dreams of what they hope is going to happen. Look, let me do this real quick, because I don't do that. That ain't my thing. I'm focused on. But I ain't see a FBA fight shit yet. One of the moderators do me a favor. Get the definition of fight and put it in chat. Because I know what fighting is. I know what fighting is. Right? 6ix9ine was just in a fight. Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, they fight. UFC people fight. Ain't no melanated person fought for reparations yet. They've been talking, asking, begging. That ain't fighting. Thank you, Deborah. Miss me with that bullshit. Nigga, I fought. I've been in prison riots, jail riots, fought. I know what fighting is. I fought my whole life. FBA's fighting. The hell out of here. I got an old ass senile man in there ignoring everything you say or everything that got to do with anything melanated. Motherfucker barely know his name to barely stand up and you talking about y'all fight. The wrong one. I'm too intelligent for that shit, homie. Don't come over here with that. Y'all not fighting. We still got kids getting decapitated in Mississippi. You talk about fighting. Fuck is y'all fighting? Y'all shadow boxing? Fight. Thank you, Tiara. Thank you, T. Take part in a violent struggle involving the exchange of physical blows or the use of weapons. Okay? Fighting. Pardon me, y'all. Listen. They have groups, and I'm telling you from the ground level, with these visas, we have a heavy Middle Eastern. Listen, when I'm telling you deep, all you have to do is look at what's going on in your schools, in your neighborhood schools, and you can see it. Look at the mothers who bring these children to school. That's letting you know what is going on in these areas. And it also lets you know who they are going to be pandering, who they are going to be catering to. Listen to the language of how the policies just shift. you'll be like, yo, what? What? Hold on. We still haven't met our pieces that we deem not equitable, but equal. And y'all talking about what? Changing curriculum for what? Listen, look at the schools. Look at them. Go to the elementary school and just watch who drops off these children. You may get away with it in certain areas of the South, but that's about it. You go out west, you come on the East Coast and you come up, yo, the demographic has shifted. It's shifted. And you are not important enough. You've worn out your welcome. You've been used up. Go to any social service facility. And you speak English. And see what you walk up out of there with. These people don't even have ID. And the charge for the day is to get them what they need. We have young black people who go in them offices and leave with nothing. That is why they resort to running through CVS's and Walgreens and stores. Coming here telling me about no fucking fight. I really don't know who the hell they think they be talking to, yo. Trust and believe. I'm not well. I'm an anger management specialist for a reason. You gonna come up in here with that pro-black bullshit. You better go research and then deal with reality. Come over here with that shit on FBA's fight. They build and breed separation. Okay? They build and breed separation and animosity. And that's why we're watching and hearing that shit that just went on in Haiti, where they just kidnapped a young couple and a relative for going and visiting some ailing family members. Kidnapped them. Their own people. Because of that same bullshit FBA talk. That disease-infested language. To make people believe that shit. Telling you, man. These are some of the dumbest people in the world. Just ignorant. Ignorant. We're talking realness here. I'm talking about some shit you looking at from afar. when you in these schools, when you in these school board meetings, when you at these union halls, when you're going to these panels, none of them are speaking on reparations. None of them. That's some social media shit. I'm telling you right now, I sit with state senators, assembly people, council people on a regular. Fuck out of here. He ain't speaking open. He not talking that. That come from outside. That come from the grassroots. That come from people who, again, as I said yesterday, as long as they get a bag, they good with whatever is being done. Whoever is in power, whoever is calling the shots, they defeated, can't beat them, join them, but pay us. If that makes sense to you, so be it. Go get your bread. Nah, because I don't care who you pray to. I don't care what you believe in. When it is time for you to expire, when it is time for you to meet your maker, they're going to ask you, I sent you to be a messenger of truth. And you were great. I made you perfect. What did you do with that? And you can sit and say, I got a bag from a white man. You think that's going to hold up? You gave your integrity up? For what? You think that's going to hold weight? When he asks you, what is fairness? What is integrity? What is justice? What is equity? What is graciousness? What is humility? All of the things that I put into you. What did you do with it? And you say you diminished your value because you were under capitalist rule and they gave you a car and a house and some bread? You think that's going to get you in the paradise? You think that's going to get you into heaven? Whatever you believe in? You good with that right now? You think that that's going to hold up? You tell me that shit. Tell me where it says in any of those books and any of those doctrines where FBA is going to stand tall, that you can take that shit to the Quran, that you can take it to the Bible, that you can take it to the Torah, and that idea will hold up. Come at me with some coward, lame bullshit intellect. Deal with high sciences over here. That shit don't hold up. I've read all the books. show me a preference. Ain't none. So when you worshiping some preference like that, a tag that a nigga gave you, and he worshiping your enemy so much that he begging for his money instead of begging his Lord or the universe for justice. I tell you, you was one of the dumbest niggas I ever seen in my life. Now, you don't believe in nothing, hey, it ain't for you. It ain't for you. Don't come over here with that shit. I ain't seen none of y'all bust y'all hammer for that shit yet. And trust and believe. I got my shit on my lapel. If you have knowledge of self and know what that shit mean. I got 4 devils under the belt. Trust and believe that shit. So again, when we're looking at groups of people, when you're seeing these changes in your communities, when you're seeing different people running or owning stores and your community starting to look different, recognize something, man. I'm telling you, it's swift. And when resources dry up and you're not moving as a collective, you're going to die. Simple as that. Simple as that. When people move on separation and egos and selfishness, they the first ones to get plucked out. Big Ma tell you that. Any of them, neutrals don't get shit in the California prison system, but hard time. Everybody else is grouped up and organized. They move in the federal system too. Any of that. You got to be a strong neutral. Really strong. Same principles out here. Keep thinking that because I got Massa love me, I've got that's going to continue to hold up. And if you don't see the signs, hey, oh, woe is your ass. Oh, woe is your ass. You dig? So New York City, as you starting to see Latinas dominating certain, I'm telling you, these were positions that we held. Just before the pandemic, I was seeing a bunch of young melanated sisters on these construction sites getting to it. I don't see it no more. They've been replaced. They've been underbidded. I'm telling you. So you keep thinking that old Uncle Sam gonna give you a bag. That ain't never been in his language. Uncle Sam said, I want you. I want you. He ain't never said, I'm giving you shit. Lady Liberty ain't never said she was giving you shit. That bald eagle, that flag, nothing about America said they was giving your black ass anything but hard times. Miseducation, heavy labor, lynchings. That's all that you were ever promised here. Okay? And I didn't mean to put a damper on your Friday evening, but it's time for some schooling. Playtime been over. Been over. Again, before we go, as my moderators, please put the green screen information in effect. There was a few people in the chat wanting to know how they can participate in the resources that we utilize, that I utilize here to make sure that the community gets it, right? And make sure that, those who need any type of mental health services that I provide, that they get it. So put that green screen information in effect, all right? Also, please, contact information for anger management, for domestic violence, right? For lifeguarding, whatever you may need. And again, share. Grow the tribe. Grow the tribe. I seen a number on 8,800 today. It went back down to 8,798. For some reason, they're not allowing us to get to 10,000. We got to make a push. We got to push, man. Push. What more can I say? Come on. I'm trying. Listen, I'm feeding you. I'm coming. I'm giving it to you. Let's grow it. This way there's no excuse for anyone to ever come on social media and not be educated. Let's go. Let's get these green screens rocking. Let's get these numbers up. Let's get this dialogue. Let's get some truth and reality. Let's do that. We done had fluff for 100 years. We've been shucking and jiving and fluffing and partying and being fly and doing every other thing that we learned how to do. Time to kick some ass. And it's time to truly love each other. Revolution is love inspired. But let's not let anybody get this shit twisted. We are soldiers. Much appreciated for my moderators coming through. Salute to the tribe. Enjoy your evening. Hey, the rest of your evening, I'm coming back tomorrow. Shit, I may come back a little later. No telling. I seen a few things that I could speak on. Oh yeah, I did. But I want people to get a very clear picture of what we're up against. Everything is war. We are under the charge of warmongers. Everything is war. People, positioning, policies, everything. And when you don't see you nowhere in none of that, that means they're counting you as a casualty, collateral damage. So you could giggle your way through it. You can drink your way through it. You get high your way through it, whatever it is. If that's what you feel that your purpose was for, if that's what you believe, what you were born here for, then it's all good. Cool. That ain't nowhere in my story. Nah, I want free. Peace and power.